Commissioners. We'll start with an invocation, then Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Thank you for our city, and we are grateful for your blessings on us in recent days. We ask and invite you into our chambers and ask you preside over our meeting today. We ask your wisdom and guidance on our commissioners as we strive to make the right decisions for our city and in the best interest of our citizens. Bless our city manager, our staff and employees, and those in attendance today. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Let us stand and salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We usually do this at the end of the meeting, but I want to do first say that this meeting is in memory of Ramona Webb, dear mother of our city clerk, who we think a lot of, and we're so sorry. And we send our condolences to your whole family. We have a motion to receive and file the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Receive and file the minutes. Regular meeting held on June 13th, 2024. Recess meeting held June 14th, 2024. Held June 24th. Recess meeting held June 28th, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Here's the report. I just want to thank Commissioner Clark real quick for hosting us yesterday for Leadership Kentucky. On a panel with Scott Martin over the Northeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce and our Judge Executive Eric Cheney of Boyd County. So we were able to discuss what and how important that is as a community, and so thank you for giving us that opportunity. Also want to mention that we had a special guest, Dr. Eli Capaluto of the University of Kentucky, was also speaking to the Leadership Kentucky group and had a lot of great things to say about the partnership and synergy of UK and Kingston. And I think we have seen quickly the immediate benefits of UK becoming a partner, and I think we're very grateful, this board especially is very grateful for the expansion and the added jobs, not just to Ashland, but the surrounding region. All right, we'll start with Commissioner Good. This
Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting. I just have a few announcements. I thought we had a wonderful summer motion, and then the first Friday in Central Park was wonderful. With wrestling always brings out people, okay? So it was really good. And I went by Hillcrest Boost Mission yesterday, and I know Mike Mayer will expound on this, but this dental care has really exploded. Last week we were at the Transportation Center, and upwards of 200 people got to be served through the dental care, and now they're coming to Hillcrest Bruce on a weekly basis, and so we're thankful for that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I never saw so many smiling faces after a dental appointment, but there were a lot of them. Commissioner Spriggs.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Well, we've only met once this month, and it seems like it's been forever since we've been here, but I'm glad to see a lot of people here today. I just have a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank Edie McKenzie for the great job she did on her economic forum at the Transportation Center. There were a lot of people there. It was great information. People were enthused about getting some help from the state, and it was such a great idea, and so good job. Thank you. The other thing I want to announce is August 23rd, we're going to have, ta-da, the groundbreaking for the World War II wall. This has been since 2015 when I first took this to the Rotary Board, and it's been a journey. So now we are ready to go. This is going to be wonderful for the city, and it will belong to the city once we get it done. So we're really thrilled about that. Our projection date for dedication is Veterans Day in November, because the original wall with all those 6,200 names on it that was on 13th Street was dedicated on Veterans Day in 1944. So it'll be 80 years to the day. So
Great.
look forward to seeing you at the groundbreaking, and this will be a great thing for Ashland.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Bland.
Well, thank you very much, and to echo Commissioner Root's point about Mike and Hillcrest Bruce, and I get a lot of questions sometimes from folks who are looking to volunteer or help out with any organization, and Mike and Hillcrest Bruce, they're so smart about the way they do that. If on social media, if you look at their page, they make it so easy. Their Walmart list it takes you literally seconds if you want to donate some items from their Walmart list. And things like that facilitate, we've got lots of citizens who want to help out, but those organizations understanding how to connect that and make it easy, it's awesome. So thank you for that. Was great, and we love going down for that. Also, Commissioner Spriggs' point about the Eden McKenzie and the small business support. If anyone wants that, we can definitely get that information very easily. I was honestly very surprised at how many resources there are for businesses and how accessible it is. So thank you, Eden, for that. Thanks, Economic Development Department as well. We have the Government Scholarship Program it was a couple weeks ago, I think, and it was a group of, this is a program of high school students from around the state. They were from all parts of the state, and we hosted them here. We walked through downtown, and a very inquisitive, excellent group who asked every question you can imagine, which we love groups like that, and it was between the city manager and I, we went about 2 hours over what we probably should explain things that people don't get to see all the time, and how things really work. And a real sweet note today that I got, and I just want to thank them so much for that. And I saw somebody that said, how, and I looked at it and thought, maybe I probably the best, honestly, right now, but it really is such an honor just to get up and, there are times that come and go, and we have lots of things going on in the city, but, so if you're part of anything that you enjoy doing, you need to get out of it. And so I'm fortunate that when it's optimism, and it's looking to, how this tomorrow, how we're going to look at that in anything I do. So, and it's the same as the deciding to do this. And I just want to thank you all, city staff, you all, everything that I do, and just thank the citizens for the ability to do this every day. It's never cumbersome. It's always an honor to do this job, and I'm sure the folks up here feel the same. So thank you very much.
Okay. Commissioner Clark.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We do have a pretty lengthy meeting today, so I won't belabor any already mentioned points. Just to point out from tourism, the Country Music Highway Tribute Show in combination with First Friday will be held August 2nd and 3rd in Central Park. Friday and Saturday, so I'm reading my notes to make sure I get it all right. On Saturday, there will be a car show at Cruise In. There's about 12 food trucks and more than 50 artisan vendors signed up, so make sure you check that out. The hours on Friday are between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m., and the headliner is the Shelby Lore Band, and from 10 to 4 on Saturday, and the headliner is the Chuck Robertson Project.
And Commissioner Clark, will that be on Carter Avenue?
That will be in Central Park.
Central Park.
Yes,
Second
ma'am.
and third.
Okay.
Second and third, Friday and Saturday. And that's all I have.
Okay. City Manager.
Mayor, next slide. As already mentioned, we've had a very lengthy agenda today, so in case you haven't seen the new entrance signs to the city, they're approximately 15 feet by 14 feet. We had one that's very similar to the 3 that have been installed at the bridge for a couple of years now, and these are doing some fine tuning on these, but they are up. Next slide. Also of note, we have flood inspection, which we haven't had in a couple of years, and you can see some of the highlights that are up here. The inspectors, 4 were from Huntington, 4 were from Chicago. All of the items that you see on the second bullet there were deemed to be in good shape. Additionally, what's not up there, they exercised, all the motors were energized, internal gates were moved several times. Our team demonstrated the motorized sluice gate at Long Branch. We should get the final report, but really the key takeaway was how remarkably clean and in order all those facilities were. So it's a head nod to our public services team and also the flood wall team. It gives a lot of confidence to me, and I think also to the mayor and commissioners that in case we do need that system, it's up, it's functional, it's ready to go for any rising of the river. Next, please. Also, great news on the wastewater treatment plant. If it's the pleasure of the mayor and the commissioners, I'd like to take you out to the wastewater treatment plant on the second meeting in August. You can see those bullets that are up there that talk about it, but the bottom line is we've been waiting on the Kentucky Division of Water to review the overall project plans. They've done that. They've had a few small comments, and we're hoping that we can put that out for bid in August. Next. And just per the mayor and commissioner's request, a list of events that are coming up. And also, I did not have on the agenda, but Mr. Maynard from Hillcrest Bruce Mission, as Commissioner Good has already mentioned, the dental, he has got a presentation he's going to give to us today. So, Mr. Maynard.
So I wanted to just ask you one brief question. On those signs to the entrance to the city, one of those is out on Route 60, right?
Yes, Route 60 by the mall, and also on 23 right in front of the Toyota plant. They took the place of the former entrance signs that were there.
Yeah, I came into town and it had a cover on it. It was hanging on there and it looked pretty bad. And I thought, oh, so, all right, it's ready. It's done, right?
It's done.
Yeah, unless something's changed.
No, it's done. I checked.
Good, all right.
Mr. Maynard.
All right, thank you very much. I know last couple of months we talked a lot about dental and stuff, but I figured that it would be good to see a roll-up for the event. There's a lot of stuff is going on down there, and appreciate everybody coming down and taking a look and having an interest. And so first question, of course, why do we even need to do something like that? And it's because if you have Medicaid, or you have Medicare Advantage with dental plans, there is not one dentist in Ward County that takes that insurance. Not one, zero. Wow. So, especially since COVID, it's just the few that we did have, gone. And so we refer people to West Virginia, most times Fort Gate, probably the quickest place to get into. Quite a haul. If you have oral surgery that's done, it's not so you've got to go to. So there's just no services here. So. And there's a combination. Its reimbursement rates are very low. And then just a lot of folks that are on Medicaid, they struggle with transportation. And so a lot of times it's hard to get to appointments. And so there's cancellations, and that leads to a lot of empty chair time. It's just not financially feasible for dentists to do a lot of that. And so they haven't. And so we have been trying to figure this out for years. And in 1985, when we built their current mission building, that was so we could do dental work and have a preschool. And so we have 2 full dental suites that are in the mission. And so for the last almost 40 years, we've had volunteer dentists come to the mission on a monthly basis to do simple extractions to help people get to the next point of relieving pain or for getting dentures. And since COVID, when COVID happened, just wasn't possible for them to come to our facilities. Most of them were more comfortable with it in their facilities now. And so, honestly, we really dreamed of being able to go back to that point of just having a monthly dentist come and do some simple extractions for a dozen people. But the folks heard us and it became much bigger. And so what we've done, so Linda, who was the previous director, she was the one that had found some money to start helping people with dental and other health issues that insurance didn't cover. And so over the last 7 years, almost $1 million she has found in grants to pay to help in our community. And so as much as that sounds like, it's nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. So we needed to figure something else out. And so, can play up videos. There's a couple short videos that Care Mobile.
After I returned from the Army, came back home and started working at the mission. One of the biggest things that the community came to us looking for is, where can I go to find a dentist? There wasn't a whole lot of options. And so Linda had found some money for a grant. And so we were able to help people by paying them for their dental. So dental isn't about just continuing. It's not just about cosmetic. This changes a lot. It puts people to work. It makes people healthier. And so it makes a better community. About a year or so ago, at Better Health, Paige and her team came to the mission to get a tour. And probably every room I was in showing what we did, I mentioned that we do services there. Care Mobile coming, and we've been doing clinics for the last few weeks now, and it is amazing. And so the help that has given and Care Mobile, folks here in our community will be able to get the dental care that they need to help them get jobs, to help them keep healthy. It's a game changer, and it makes a huge difference.
And so Aetna, as mentioned, they came by a tour. And so you have a lot of folks who come and they listen and they hear the issues that we have in our community and at the mission. And a lot of times they're big problems and people aren't able to do things. But Aetna didn't just listen, but they found a way to help us out. And so they partner with Care Mobile. And so they do mobile dental services, and he started doing that because people were having a hard time getting to the dental office. And so he started out in a food truck to do dental services. And so insurance companies understand that having people do preventative care, regular appointments, things like that, it costs less overall. And so he has been sponsored by Aetna, by Humana, by Crest. And so that's how he's able to get these vans outfitted with the latest technology to be able to do these things. Hit that video there.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Quan Watson. I'm really excited about providing comprehensive dental services in these single-tier vans that we manufacture in Springfield, Kentucky. Access to oral healthcare is a huge problem in the U.S. With 68 million people that have inadequate access to oral healthcare. And at Care Mobile, we're passionate about providing comprehensive dental services in these vans. About a year ago, we were fortunate to partner with Aetna on an initiative in West Louisville. That relationship has grown, and as you can see here today, we have 8 vans here to provide comprehensive services to over 100 people. We're actually going to deliver over 30 dentures today, as well as provide extractions, cleanings, and fillings, as well as patients. We have 10 doctors here from 3 different states, and we're just really excited to partner with Aetna to make sure that access is available for all of us.
And so as you were down at the event, you saw the amount of people, partners down there. These were the flyers that went out, and it's not just the mission, and not just Care Mobile, not just Aetna. But they did bring 8 mobile vans fully outfitted, plus 7 additional chairs to do x-rays and cleanings. They brought 24 folks, and some of those folks came from Georgia, some from Tennessee, from Kentucky. The need was so great, they just couldn't staff everything from out of their office in Louisville. Aetna brought every single person from the leadership team, plus every community engagement person from the whole state to help out. We also had the Connect Navigators to help people get Medicaid insurance from Community Action. UK King's Daughters was there with their cardiology van and also was doing health screenings. Pathways was there doing Narcan training and also providing peer support. Black Soil was there to provide fresh produce. Hillbilly Hibachi donated lunch for everybody there. And then we had the city leadership, the Transportation Center, and Chamber of Commerce all down there too. So I mean, it was a huge pull together for the whole community to do this. If you hit that video, this will kind of give you a flavor of what that day was like. So this is the impact that it makes. So all of these folks, from Aetna, from Care Mobile, all this, they stayed in our hotel rooms. They ate at our restaurants. They visited our sites. They hired our own people to help out that day. And it cost them $46,000 to put on this event. That's how much it cost them. So with hotels and transportation and supplies and all that. So it came at a cost, but it was something that they wanted to do for our community to kind of get us started. And so the biggest thing here is the impact on the people and the health there. And you see, at 74 extractions, he was working until 7 o'clock that night on the last person to do extractions. It wasn't supposed to have lasted that long, but they wanted to make sure every single person who was down here got sick, and at least got the worst problem taken care of. One of the last guys that they helped, he had probably been there since 8 or 9 in the morning waiting.
Wow.
And not one complaint. And Dr. Watson said, you know, we do these events not to this size or this big across the whole state, and we've never met more patient and appreciative people. And it really said a lot about the people. And so they did about $85,000 worth of services here just that day. And then for the follow-ups that people will need, whether it's additional extractions, more fillings, dentures, $317,000 just from those folks. So that just tells you how huge the need is. And so that's why we're doing the weekly things. But hit this video here. This is just some of the folks that were down there that day.
It's so nice. People are from, they make our part. I've had people before, and that is that difference I've ever met. I'm not kidding.
We went ahead and they mapped out my mouth and got my mouth ready for denture. They pulled out all the tops, and look, I get to smile.
We were nice, reception was really nice. Yeah, the wait was a little long, but and I got to get done when I needed to get done. Everybody was very professional, very nice tonight, and they've been a true blessing to my life. I'm so very thankful for each and every one of them. All right, man.
Cracks me up.
All right. Good, I'll tell you, good work, man. He said, oh, you're done. I'm not. Well, I'm going to need the feedback and glad I showed this. This is a great time. It really is. Florida, fantastic. Going well.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. I love it. And I love it. They'll come back. I am truly blessed.
And it's nothing that you all don't know. We just have great people here. We just need help. And we're privileged and blessed to be able to be a part of this to help. And so now, of course, the thing is what's next? Because it can't end here. And it can't be just these once-a-time events once a year or every 2 months. And so here's the signs for the 3 dental offices that we have now here at the Mission. And so yesterday was our first regular clinic that they've done. And so they're also leaving one of their vans up here for us that will stay here permanently.
Wow.
In addition to our 2 dental suites. They think we need 3 chairs.
That's pretty
To
cool.
be able to do everything that we need. And so here's a picture from yesterday. So Dr. Watson himself came down as a dentist yesterday. And Amy Rice is a local dental assistant that they hired. And Lisa Gammon is a dental hygienist, and Jamie Wade is a dental assistant. And they work at the Mission full-time. And so we have full dental services. So we'll be doing cleanings, x-rays, and impressions during the week, while the dentist comes once a week to do our place. And then, of course, Linda, who got all this started. Coordinating and doing all this. And so all people have to do, if you got insurance, just call the mission, we'll get you on the list, and we'll get to you. If you don't have insurance, call us and we'll get you in touch with brokers or navigators or something so you can get insurance so you can get help. It's that simple. So if you have insurance, you can get them services.
Well, Mike, again, you humble us by what you've been able to do. I think one of the biggest challenges, plenty of people complain, plenty of people know where we have gaps of care and coverage. Very few people come up with a solution. And so with that, we are grateful to you and your team, all the volunteers. Edna, I got to meet Dr. Kwan, and he's a wonderful guy, and what he's doing is changing not only people here in our local community, but statewide. So we're excited to see him buy in, and I, of course, told all of them they're welcome back anytime, as often as they want to come back, because the need is great. So thank you.
Mike, about this going forward, I can't say what you just showed, how awesome this is, but we talk about this with mental health as well, and the stigma. People need to understand, it wasn't that long ago where I didn't have any access to service like this and needed it. So it doesn't matter, I mean, there's no picture of the person who needs this. It's they're our neighbors, our family members. So I'm definitely interested in how we can keep driving that, listen, this is for everybody, you know, and so thank you very much.
So Mike, I wanted to, did you have any children coming?
I think for that day, I think there was 20 probably, or 20 or 30 that day.
Okay.
So, which is important because
Yeah.
kids can't start school unless they have the.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few children that are on our schedule.
Well, it's good to know they know early to take care of their teeth, so. Okay.
Well, every
Great
time I'm
job.
up there-
Great job.
Every time I'm up there, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
And yesterday, you know, those 3 people that were hired are local people. They're assistants. How many haircuts did you do yesterday?
Okay, we had back-to-school haircuts and pathways, coordinated that for us. So I think at least 25, I know of, before I had to leave for something else.
How many pounds of food?
Yeah, last Tuesday, we had a record, so third Tuesday of the month, we pick up bulk food that we deliver to homebound seniors. And so it's 12,750 pounds of food.
Wow.
Wow.
And then yesterday, we had our final inspection for Facing Hunger Food Bank for our Arborlight location. And so a week after next, we start food service out in Arborlight, with Arborlight Center.
It's great.
We're so blessed to have you here.
I say that. I'll repeat it again. We get asked over and over and over again, what is the city doing to help all these people in need? And what we do is get dollars and resources into the hands of organizations like yours that are able to do the most good with it. And I just appreciate what you do and everything you've got going on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir. That's it.
Okay, we're moving on to public participation. Anyone with a comment or request may come to the podium and address the commission concerning matters related to city business, services, or personnel. Comments related to election issues or concerning personal disputes will not be allowed. Personal attacks, obscene or threatening language will not be tolerated. Presentations are limited to 5 minutes. Only one speaker permitted per subject. No action will be taken at this meeting. Those with comments are asked to fill out an inquiry form and leave with the city clerk for distribution to the proper city department. At this time, would anybody like to come forward? Please. And if you would, just pull that microphone to you and mention name and address.
Okay, my name is Gail Hankey. I actually reside in Raceland, and that will be addressed in my prepared talk. I digress, so I wrote it all out. When my husband and I decided to move to Ashland to be close to our daughter who lives here, we found it incredibly difficult to find an apartment or house available for rent. Furthermore, when we found vacancies, they felt like they were overpriced for their condition. We were fortunate to find a rental apartment in Flatwoods, but we were still paying what we considered to be too much rent when we were not building any equity. We had been owners for more than 40 years, financially responsible with excellent credit, so we began looking to buy a house in Ashland. We were unable to find a house in our price range that we felt was suitable for our needs and was worth the price being asked. We did find a home, but unfortunately not in Ashland. That said, our daughter still lives here and works here. We personally shop, have all of our medical providers in Ashland, so we have a significant stake in the community. Actually consider Ashland to be our home rather than Raceland because this is where we're establishing ties. We became aware of KPU and began attending gatherings in 2022 as a way to meet like-minded individuals and work together to supporting good things in Ashland. My husband and I became affiliated with the Kentucky People's Union shortly after its initial formation because it's important to us to be involved in making our community a better place to live. KPU is a grassroots movement with precisely that purpose. In 2023, KPU reviewed several critical issues facing the residents of Ashland that require improvement to make it a better place to live. We prioritized as an organization the most immediately pressing issue as the need for more safe and affordable housing in Ashland. After interviewing hundreds of citizens in the city, we learned that a large number of rent-paying tenants live in conditions that are unsafe or unhealthy. Most are afraid to push the landlord to make needed repairs or to report them for code violations, for fear of retaliation, including eviction. Currently, tenants in Ashland have no rights in such housing situations. No rights. Renters are expected to continue to pay rent for substandard spaces or be forced out, becoming homeless. The Uniform Residential Landlords and Tenants Act of 1973, also known as URELTA, was adopted by the Commonwealth of Kentucky, but must be adopted by the individual municipalities for enforcement. The Ashland Commissioners have thus far resisted to seriously consider the adoption of URELTA under the misconception it duly burdens landlords. URELTA, in fact, lays out a consistent landlord-tenant contract with specific rights and responsibilities spelled out for both parties. I assume you have it on file and for your thorough inspection and reconsideration. As a concerned citizen and a KPU member as well, we strongly urge the City of Ashland to adopt this legislation as passed by the Commonwealth of Kentucky in a good faith effort to improve the rental housing situation here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Would anybody else like to come forward at this time?
William Ray to Providence Hill. I'll give you some good news. We were at KPU door knocking, trying to drum up support for community garden. One of the places we talked to was a young gentleman that just moved here a month ago. He bought a house in Ashland. We talked to him for about a half hour, and he had scoured out Kentucky, came from down in Tennessee, and he just loves it. So y'all doing that good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would anybody else like to come forward at this time?
Especially if they say that. Just
Hearing
kidding.
hearing none, old business.
Old business item A, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Boyd County Council on Aging, DBA Ashland Senior Center, the subrecipient of $15,000 from the 2024 Program Year Community Development Block Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item B, second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky approving the 2024 rent increases for Blaylow Apartments effective October 1, 2024 for the City of Ashland Department of Community and Economic Development, Division of Assisted Housing, Section 8.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Consent agenda. A resolution of the City of Ashland, Kentucky adopting, authorizing, and approving the course of action recommended by the city manager on items appearing on the consent agenda for the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners held on July 25, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple just short questions. On the very first one about the paving, is that, where's Steve Cole? Is that just all over town, this concrete, sidewalk repairs, is that? Just, okay,
It's specifically in support of utility repairs.
okay. And let's see, I had one, oh, the other one was, this additional pay, for the one in Chester Avenue, is that because of the basement situation? Number 5, Steve.
I think it's just a request for the next payment.
Yeah, is that the request for, is that because of the basement though, or next payment? Because there's a change order in there.
The change order is what was
Who change orders?
previously. That was the one you all approved, I think, a month ago.
Okay,
And that did have to do with the basements and
Okay,
a couple
so-
other issues.
all right, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
New business?
New business item A, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and approving change order number 2 between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and A Plus Contractors LLC for the replacement and reconfiguration of emergency generators for 10 water pump station locations, increasing the contract the amount of $39,260 and extending the contract 45 additional days.
So moved.
Second.
We are going to get this done before the next winter cycle.
Please.
9 of the 10 generator installations have already been tested and placed in service. And on the 10th one, just waiting on power supply adjustment. Should be able to replace that in service within about a month.
Perfect. All right.
It's worth noting, obviously, we repeat this here for public consideration, but we have our capital projects meeting where you all go down a very long list of capital projects, which I recently just sat in on one, and that is a very helpful meeting to have, but obviously repeating it here helps as well.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Ashland and Hazen and Sawyer for professional services regarding management of the lead and copper rule program in an amount not to exceed $217,880 for the Department of Engineering.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item C, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and Service Pump and Supply, Inc. in the amount of $44,368.42 for the raw water intake pump repair for the Department of Utilities Division of Water Treatment Plant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and BLK Construction LLC for all labor and materials for miscellaneous concrete and asphalt repair work for the Department of Public Services and Utilities through July 31, 2025, in the amount of $683,225.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item E, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an agreement with Hillcrest Bruce Submission, the subrecipient of $11,302.95 from the 2024 Program Year Community Development Block Grant for Employment Education Case Management.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item F, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an agreement with Ashland Community Kitchen, Inc., the subrecipient of $15,000 for operating costs from the 2024 Program Year Community Development Block Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item G, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Salvation Army of Ashland, the subrecipient of $5,000 for operating costs from the program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item H, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and Precision Property Development, Inc. for the Ashland Fire Department Central Fire Station Roofing and Gutter Project in the amount of $286,182.32.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item I, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky repealing ordinance number 102, series of 2024, which approved minority loan number 2024 M003 to the Mill Cafe and Bakery LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item J, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky fixing the ad valorem tax levy for the year 2024 payable in the year 2024 on real estate, personal property, and franchises in the City of Ashland for the city revenue purposes, providing for a discount of 1% on ad valorem taxes only which are paid on or before the 15th day following the bill date, and providing for a penalty of 10% and 6% interest per annum for any taxes which are paid after the due date, said due date being 30 days following the bill date.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, City Manager?
Well, we had another.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, good.
It looks like we're giving our citizens another tax decrease, so I was really happy to see that on here. Go ahead.
City Manager has to respond then, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Item K, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and approving change order number 2 between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and Spear Corporation for the Dawson Pool Filtration System Project, increasing the contract in the amount of $158,308 for the Department of Parks and Recreation.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item L, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, corrected job description for the position of billing clerk in the Department of Finance and the revised job description for the position of Fire Inspector 1 in the Department of Fire. Classification and compensation plan is adopted by ordinance number 31, series of 2023, as previously amended, specifically ordinance number 82, series of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item M, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky, amending the exit interview questionnaire under Part 14, exit interview of the policies and procedures compensation plan and classification plan, as adopted by ordinance number 51, series of 2017, as previously amended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item N, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an amendment to the school resource officer agreement between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and the Ashland Independent School District Board of Education, adopted by ordinance number 142, series of 2023, effective July 1, 2024, increasing the number of school resource officers and creating the position of school resource officer lead.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item O, first reading and approval of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky adopting the City of Ashland Title VI Program Civil Rights Assurance per the Federal Transit Administration requirements for the Ashland bus system, and repealing ordinance number 4, series of 2021.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have a motion to go into executive session, discuss...
Go ahead. You go ahead, Amanda.
Is it appropriate to bring up other new business right now, or after we get back from...
You can do it right now if you want.
Right now.
I think we'll entertain that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Commissioners, I have spoken with each of you individually, and you have a copy in front of you of an outline of a tax rebate plan that I would like to see us implement through the construction project. We've talked about this for quite a while, and I think we need to get it in place. Essentially, it is a plan to compare 2024 net profit, or 2022 net profit before construction with 2024 net profit after construction, and give a rebate to those businesses that have been affected by a loss during that time. So I would like, if I can, to make a motion to, I don't know, do I need a motion to direct the city manager to start working on this plan? I don't know how that works.
You could certainly ask for a resolution to do that. Obviously, there has to be an ordinance before and it's going to be implemented.
Right.
So if I could say something before we get it official, should we consider asking the Economic Development Department to find monies to be a part of this?
We can't. In this plan is all sorts of scenarios about how to fund and all that. And all I'm asking is that we start working on the plan.
I think it's a great idea.
I second we start working on it.
Well, what's the motion?
I thought she had one.
No, I stopped.
Basically asking for a motion for directing the
Just
city manager and
to direct
staff
the city manager to start working on this tax rebate
I
plan.
think it's worth noting also, last meeting, we were listening, and we were listening to what was being,
Listening for a while.
Yeah, and we've been talking about, different scenarios, and so, but last meeting wasn't the time to really say that, so, thank you, Commissioner Clark, for doing the work to look into this.
Thank you.
And I think it's a good thing.
I'd also like to see kind of a timeline of when we're going to get this.
That was going to be my only comment. I was going to say that we need to be expedient on the results for
I
this. So
agree.
I would say something in 30 days.
The plan is hinged on filings for the 24 tax year, so
But we need to have it in
we need a
place.
plan in place so that everybody's aware of it and can start gathering
30
their
days.
information.
30 days?
30 days.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
And I have one other thing I wanted to ask the city manager. At the meeting in May, we passed, I think it was the one in May.
Commissioner, I apologize. Can we go ahead and have the vote on Commissioner Clark's?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought well, we're just having too much
Thought we
fun
were
today.
settled.
Okay, so we have the motion, we have a second.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Now, Commissioner.
So I just wonder where we stand on the interpreter for the deaf and hard of hearing that we talked about, that we passed. I haven't heard anything on it yet, so I'd like to,
Thanks, Commissioner. I know there was an exchange of emails this week between Mr. Atkins and Ms. Dickinson. Can you give us an update on that, please?
can't hear you.
Proposal was published on July 15th, so we're accepting bids right now.
Okay. Wow, take something simple and give it to the government, and there you go. Now it's all messed up with regulations.
Okay, all right. Any other new business?
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to move on to executive session. Do I have a motion to go in executive session, discuss award of a let me finish, Commissioner. Award of a contract for construction, discuss acquisition of real property, and discussion regarding appointment of an individual employee.
So moved.
All right, so I can have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. We're going to executive session.